Hey everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Sovereign University. And here we are for Cubo Plus. Today I have the chance to be with Benjamin, one of the Cubo Plus students here in El Salvador. Benjamin, nice to have you here.
Thank you for having me too.
All right, you are one of the, let's say, best students, I will say it, of Cubo Plus. Maybe you can explain to the international audience that we have, who are you?
I am a Cubo Plus student. I have been studying this new technology a lot for these last 2 weeks, and I have developed a lot of applications back, but never the kind of that what I'm doing these last weeks. And yeah, that's me.
You're from El Salvador?
Yeah, I'm Salvadoran, and I'm from Salvador. That's the capital city from this country. Really proud of that.
You're 18, right?
I'm 18 years old, and I'm currently studying at the university. I'm studying mobile applications development. Kind of really far away from what I'm doing here, but still a lot of interesting.
That's definitely true. Well, to be a Bitcoiner, to make it to Cuba Plus, you need to be really curious, open-minded. So, yeah. I guess the first question I would get is like, you're 18 and you're at Cuba Plus.
Yes.
How did you learn English? How did you learn to code to actually be here?
Well, I learned English when I was in high school. I got to have a scholarship, so I studied like for 3 years. And in that scholarship, I as well got to know a little bit of code. We started with JavaScript like back in 2019. I had already like touched a bit of code, but not that much still. But I got to know it there. I liked it a lot, and that's how I ended up here.
So you learned online?
I do learn a lot of by myself, because I feel that even more with this kind of stuff you can learn, and you have to learn a lot about yourself. And as well, we have the opportunity to have internet and a lot of resources there. So yes, I use online courses as well.
We finished Cuba Plus by the time we are shooting this video. What is Cuba Plus?
Well, Cubo Plus is a lot of things. Cubo Plus is a lot of challenges, but as well a lot of knowledge, a lot of new things and intensive things. But I feel that Cubo Plus is a fantastic way to introduce people to this world, because I know that many people know about Bitcoin, and still there is a lot that doesn't. But I feel that to start with the real thing, I mean, to code with Bitcoin, to use Bitcoin for applications, Cubo Plus is like a way to get people to know the insides and to start going down the rabbit hole.
Cuba Plus is in El Salvador a 2-week intensive program, but it wasn't only 2 weeks of intensive program. So how did you discover Cuba Plus, and how was like the process to get here to this point?
Well, I discovered Cubo Plus because of my university. They started promoting the program there, and I got to know it because of a message in Gmail, and I felt kind of curious about it. So I started the process. We made some interviews. We started with some lectures. It was I was even more interested before that, and I got to have other interviews and other lectures, and now I got to make it to the 2 weeks intensive plan, and it was really nice and fantastic.
Could we go more in details about like the online classes that you had? So it was like 3 months of online classes?
Yes. It was a lot of information and a lot of new knowledge. I mean, because the lecturers went from topics from Bitcoin itself to Lightning Network, even to banking system and social stuff. It was pretty diverse, but I feel like it was really interesting and was an opportunity to get to know a lot of topics that you you don't even realize that you ignore. So it was really nice.
Yeah, but you didn't know about Bitcoin before Cubo Plus, right?
I did know about Bitcoin before, but it was in a very superficial level because since the legalization of it in El Salvador, I felt a little bit curious of it. Kind of, this thing is going to be part of my society and my daily life. I want to know at least the most basics so that I can at least use it or know what it is. But I really got to know it until I started Cubo.
Have you used Bitcoin before Cubo?
Yes, I had used it because there have been a lot of incentives to do it. So, for example, with the Chivo Pet stuff, with Chivo itself, with the incentives that the government released. So yes, I did.
Before Cubo, so then you knew about Bitcoin, you had used it. How was it? Was it easy to use? Did it work? How do you see like the adoption from your point of view?
I feel that like the adoption can be easy, but as well it can be like tricky because in my own case, I feel like the knowledge you need to use it is not a lot, but I knew since back then when I just used it a bit that there was a lot going on behind the stuff that you can see in your application. So I knew there was a lot of things to know. So that might be like overwhelming for people because they might not trust it because they don't understand it. But I feel that like if people tries to use it, it might not be that hard to adopt it.
What about your friends and family back then? Did they all use Chivo or Bitcoin or not that much?
Not that much, actually. My family, at least, they were very,
Skeptical.
yeah, very skeptical about the whole technology. They didn't feel like it was necessary, and I know of many people that as well are kind of reluctant to use it. But my friends as well, just as me, used it a bit, but didn't know really well what it was. So yes, that.
Well, that is changing slowly by slowly with education, right?
Yes, it's changing, and it's changing quicker than I would expect because I thought that people will start using it when they started feeling comfortable with it, but I know that people is now starting using it not just because they want to try the technology or they want to get to know the new thing, but more because they are realizing that it has some advantages over other types of currencies, and that's really fine.
Yeah, that's really cool. So you did the 3 months of online classes. You had like Ricky, Giacomo. Who were the teachers?
There were a lot. Alecos as well. We had a guy called Jan Burgers, if I'm not wrong. Yes. We had as well other lecturers that I can't remember. There were a lot, yes.
It's cool. And then we moved here in El Salvador, in San Salvador, for 1 week of intense lessons with Peter Todd, with Adam Gibson. You learned a lot. What was like the favorite lesson that you had?
Well, there were a lot, but I feel that one of the most interesting parts of or lessons that I had was not theoretical or nor practical, but it was an idea that I still feel like it's very important to have, that I got from one of Peter Todd's lectures. That was about the thing is that he told us that in some way that Bitcoin is not static. It is not like a static and solid technology, but it is something that we are still creating and it's still evolving so that we make from Bitcoin what we want it to be. And that is a really mind-changing idea because it lets me know that there is space still for we people that we are starting to use it and to work with it, and there is a lot of there's a very great opportunity for us to improve it and to work with it. And yeah, that was really nice to know.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and Peter is right. Bitcoin is a living, changing organism that, at the end of the day, will evolve to be better based on the thing we feed him on. And you can work on the protocol level, either on Bitcoin Core, Lightning, or building application. Speaking of building, so Cubo Plus was 1 week of intense, really intense actually, classes in San Salvador, and then we moved to El Zonte to get some workshop with like a couple of companies. How was the workshops?
Well, they were intensive as well. I mean, the intensity was still going on, but I feel like I enjoyed a lot, and I don't want to say more than the theoretical part, but it had its own beauty to really work with the things and to use the tools and to be able to fail a lot, to have a lot of books, but as well to solve them and to be able to ask to someone which way to take. And I feel I learned a lot as well from that part.
Who were the people doing the workshop and maybe the companies too? Which companies and people and mentor you had during the workshop? It was like CBD, CEVEX?
We had CBD, IBEX. We also had Alecos that taught us to run some stuff there, and we had as well a guy from IBEX that was running as well with taught us to use his API. It was a lot of fun.
After all of that, the last part of Cubo Plus was the hackathon. How did you do?
Well, I feel still that even though the first week and the second week with the workshop was intensive and hard, the hackathon was tough. And not just because it was we building the project, but because it was a teamwork. We had the time constraints, we had the topic constraints, and we had a lot to think about. It was it was my first hackathon as well, so I got to know what it is to feel the stress, let's say, to have a project on your hands and that you know that you have to take it to some point. But it was really fun as well because I feel that having a project makes you want to improve things, want to work on the things, and as well lets you know that there is a lot of room for your work and that it is well accepted by the people and that there is a lot of what you can help with. And I feel like even the topics were really realistic, I will say.
Could you please tell us what was your topic and what did you build?
Okay, we built a video game, and at first instance we thought, how will a video game help the Lightning or applications, or how it will help to improve Bitcoin adoption? But realized that it does, and a lot.
So what was the product? What was the video game?
We made a video game thinking about quizzes because we had a time constraint and we thought that a quiz would be like the easiest game-like thing that we can get in 3 days. That was the length of the workshop, of the hackathon, sorry. We built a Bitcoin trivia game that lets you pay 2 invoices so that you can found a bet, and then you start competing with another person, and the one who gets the most correct points or correct answers gets the whole bunch of money.
So what type of Lightning implementation did you use, and what were the technical straps?
We used LND to run our Lightning node over a Bitcoin node, and we used LNbits in order to connect to an API so that we could consume to use the Lightning node. We decided to use LNbits because we wanted to be like simple, and we didn't have time as well to create our own API so that we can make our own calls to the node. And we needed to create invoices, to check the status of the invoices, to create LN URLs. So we decided to go best for something that was already created and try to implement it. It was not easy as well. We had some trouble with that. But yeah, that was the technical stuff.
You didn't say to the audience that you won.
Yeah, we won. I was pretty skeptical with the idea of winning because I felt at least that the other projects were working with real life problems, and that creating a video game wouldn't stand against, I don't know, like paying a invoice to a bank, for example. That was some like the thing what another group was doing, but it was really nice because we made it right in the correct way, and it was fine to win as well.
Yeah, of course. And you got the prize pool. Actually, I think your product does make sense. And actually, like in the university, because you used our database of questions for the thing, it is something that is needed, like a Bitcoin quiz with lightning bets between students could be a fun learning experience, and a Bitcoin quiz is definitely something that is needed. So it does make sense on the product you choose. Cubo Plus is over, but the idea is now to work in the Bitcoin industry, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Because we have to take our knowledge to the real ground and to start using it to improve and to create more products with the application, with the Bitcoin technology.
Do you know which company you work in, or which area of Bitcoin more specifically?
I'm not sure yet, but I feel that even though I am like a front-end developer, I will say, I really want, and maybe not in the coming future, but at some point to start working with as well with the real with the core of Bitcoin, because I feel like there is a lot of work to do still there, and as well it feels really nice to know that I can to like put my work onto that, so that people can use a better a better Bitcoin application.
That's true. Good luck. You will probably become, no, I hope you become a co-contributor one day. Do you feel you still have a lot to learn on Bitcoin, and which topic would you like to go more in depth?
There is a lot still to learn about Bitcoin. I mean, we have just had 2 weeks, and even though they were very intensive and we covered a lot of topics, I know that there's no way that you can abstract such a big and diverse and complex technology in just 2 weeks of learning. So that's why I really like Cubo, because it doesn't just like teach us this is the thing, but as well make us want to dive more into the topics. So I'm really wanting to start studying a bit more of cybersecurity. I really liked Adam Gibson's lesson, and as well to play more with the core of the Bitcoin core and the LND nodes, so that I can start using it like in real life stuff.
You are doing Jimison's seminar, right? Yeah. Tomorrow it starts?
Tomorrow we start.
Are you ready for it?
I'm not sure. I hope. They say it's very challenging, but I mean, it has been so far, so I feel like we are ready.
How do you think Bitcoin is helping El Salvador?
Well, it's helping in many ways. I feel like I'm not sure, but I know that many people is starting to use it, and it's helping a lot, because many people don't have access, for example, to the banking system because they don't have like a great amount of money, but they do need a way to keep their money secure and safe. Actually, I can recall a phrase from Ricky, one of the first lectures that we had, that it is like Bitcoin is not a technology for the developed countries, but for the developing countries, because in my case, I can feel like it's helping people to get them into the financial system in a easier way, and as well giving them back rights, economical rights that they don't have.
Sure. What is missing for El Salvador to really accept Bitcoin as a currency? Because it's hard to say the opposite. Like the adoption is not really here at the grassroots level. So, what do you think is the missing thing?
I will say that education will help a lot, because people don't like to use things they can't understand, and they feel pretty uncomfortable with not understanding what they are putting their money into. So I feel like if people knew more about it, and like so that they can tell scams apart from real things, for example, or they can get themselves into using it in a intelligent way, they will use it more. But I know it will be a process, and I hope that someday it will be used like the legal tender it is. So let's see.
You're 18, the law has been passed for 2 years now, so 16. Bukele has been in power for some time. How do you see the country changing over the years?
Well, it has changed, and fortunately, I feel like most of the changes have been positive and have helped have helped people and have helped us to get a better life. For example, we feel more secure now than 5 years back in our history, and I really see my country changing, and I hope that this will not just keep steady. I mean, it won't just keep growing steadily, but as well with grow exponentially, and that we will get to have changes more even fantastic, that we have had so far.
Yeah, so you feel safer?
I do feel safer. It's still not completely safe, and I know that changing the social situation is not that quick, and we still have a lot of way to go, but I feel like someday maybe we will have a pretty secure country, and I really hope so.
That's very cool. I lost my question. It was too emotional. God damn it, Benjamin. We've been together for like 2 weeks now, eating at lunch and just chilling and just working and going around. How would you describe Cubo Plus as a human experience with the 21 other students?
Well, with my classmates, it was really fun because we didn't know each other. Like, never we had, none of us knew any. Maybe some of them already knew some of the people that was studying here, but still we got to be very good friends, and it is kind of funny because now we are kind of sad to say goodbye, and we just shared together like 2 weeks, but still we got to connect a lot, and I feel like it's because we got to work a lot together as well, and we got to have the same challenges to help between ourselves. So it was really a teamwork. So now that we are getting graduated, let's say, we can say that we have done it through like together and working together and doing stuff together. So yeah.
Combine, try to build the Bitcoin community in El Salvador, work in many companies and try to push forward?
Well, I think so. We have been talking about gathering and as well to go to some other Bitcoin stuff that's happening here in this country, but I know that maybe none of us will, but I hope that the majority does get and to bring back the first promotion, and I hope that we will work together, and as well someday when we are working in the industry we'll be comfortable and safe to give them a call and to get help or to I don't know, team up for a new activity or a new product. I don't know. I really hope that we keep the teamwork and we keep doing it so far.
That's true. You were talking about adopting. I will see you again at adopting, right?
Yes, I will be there. Yeah, and I feel like it's fine because I know that the learning experience never ends, and it's fine as well to have the opportunity to do it in company with experts and with more people that's willing to know more about it.
Do you want to create your own company at some point in one day? I mean, you're 18, I started mine at 19, so you can do it.
Yes, well, I hope so. I still haven't thought that much about it, but I know that someday if I see the opportunity and if I have like the room for doing it, I know that I will.
This will be a big boost for your country too.
Yes, I hope so. That's why I'm waiting, because I want it to be like something really that helps in some way the development of my country.
Do you think Cubo Plus will help improve the country?
I really think so, and I hope that the people that gets into it really use it in pro to the country development. So yeah.
How would you describe Cubo Plus in one word for the audience?
It's tough, but I will say like it's innovating.
Innovating. Yeah, asking the other students, it was often like opportunity, hope, came back to. It's really good. Yeah. All right, Benjamin. Thank you so much. I do have more questions, but I know you're shy in camera. Actually, you're getting better on camera.
Thank you. It has been they have been my first experiences with camera, so I'm still
Kind of shy.
too stiff. But
yeah, well, it's okay. No, do you have a last word for our audience? Maybe a word from all of if you take the speech for all of the Cubo Plus students, what you would like to say to the entire international Bitcoin community?
Well, I think I talk for everybody that had participated on these seminars and lectures, that it has been way better than we thought it would be, and that we have enjoyed the experience, but as well that we have got the opportunity to know this new technology, and I know that these have changed the life and the way of thinking of many of my classmates. So it's really nice to have these kind of opportunities, because I know that many people that is now working on the industry had to do all this rehearsing and research, and all this knowledge that we were given. They had to really make an effort to have it. So it was a really good opportunity, and Cubo Plus has been a really good experience, and as well I know that it will be useful and it will help a lot, not just to the people that have participated on the program, but as well for the whole country. Why not?
Are you excited for Cuba Plus 2? Well, you won't. Maybe you can help.
We'll see. I mean, I won't be here, but I know that this experience will be, and I hope it will get even better, and as well will be as mind-changing and useful as it was for me and my classmates, for the new people that comes to it.
Benjamin, thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
If you have any questions for Benjamin, you can put them in the comment section. Are you going to read them and answer them?
Probably.
Not.
Probably.
Probably?
I will.
All right, Henry, Jimmy Song won't do it, but he will do it. So don't forget to like, subscribe. If you want to keep learning, the university is fully open source. So there's a lot of resources. And yeah, I hope Cuba Plus was a success. I do believe Cuba Plus was a big success. And I'm really proud of you too. You know, I saw you over the 2 weeks and you made it together, and congrats.
Thank you.
All right, see you.